Cryptocurrency, where's it going? Does it have a future? What if I tell you something odd, something very weird? That the fact that cryptocurrency exists and people are investing in it made me question, did people start chasing their own shadow? Now let me explain myself, my opinion, and then at the end of the video I have a proposal. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show. So let's talk about factors that makes market grow. As far as I know, there are three types of markets which makes something grow and fall. Number one is production, number two is commodities, number three is real estate. So let me explain production. I'll give you two scenarios of production. Let's say hypothetical, someone wants to buy a pizza store. Now this pizza store has been there in the neighborhood for a long time and it's earning a year approximately $100,000 net income, profit. That means the owner takes home $100,000 profit a year. Now, the owner is willing to sell it. Now, let's say the guy paid for it $300,000. It's included all the machinery, the tables, and the fact that it's a good going business. Now, the person that bought this pizza shop upgraded the menu and he made some delicious pizza, like next level pizza and other next level dishes, and he made good advertisement. Now of course everybody got attracted to this pizza shop. It became a very popular pizza shop in the neighborhood and people loved buying pizza and other dishes at this pizza shop, and the sales increased so much that now it's profiting around $500,000 a year. Now let's say it goes by a few years and the pizza shop is making around $500,000 net income per year. Now, if the owner wants to sell it, do you think it's worth $300,000? Absolutely not. Why? Because it's producing more money than he bought it for. So this store is worth well over $1 million. Why? Because it grew in sales. In other words, it produced more. So this is one scenario of production. Now let me give you a second scenario of production. Let's say someone created a video editing app. Now let's say someone invested $20,000 in this app for 5% share in the company. Now a year passed and the app has now 5,000 downloads. I don't think people will be willing to pay more than $20,000 for 5% because statistically most new companies don't work out and they go out of business. And so far, if you have 5,000 downloads, it's not a popular app. So therefore, it's approximately the same price. Now let's jump 5 years ahead, and now the app has over 200,000 downloads. Will you say that 5% of the company is still worth $20,000? No, it's worth more, but not too much more, because not everybody is willing to pay so much for a new startup. And 200,000 downloads is not that of a significant number. Now let's jump 5 years ahead, meaning 10 years from when the company started. And now the app has over 1 million downloads. Will you still think that 5% of the company is worth $20,000? Absolutely not. It's worth in the millions. Why? Because the company grew and it produced. And things that grow and produce keeps on going up in value. Plus, it looks like it's going to keep on growing more and more. Because if a company can show so much in return that it started up as a small nothing and 10 years later it has over 1 million people using it, then it gives people belief that this company has a bright future. So therefore people will be willing to pay a lot more money for it, even though there's no proof whether the company will go up or down. Now, I basically explained to you in short how the stock market works. Of course, there is a lot more details to the stock market, but this is just the overall sum up picture. And that is the reason why the stock market keeps on growing, because the stock market overall keeps on producing. And as long the companies will keep on producing, the stock market will keep on growing. So now you get a point. When something produces and the production grows, it gives a reason why to invest. So now I explain to you the growth and decline of production. Now let's explain the second market that can grow and decline, which is commodities. Commodities are things that mostly have multiple types of use. And to list some commodities: aluminum, steel, copper, lead, zinc, gold, silver, etc. And how commodities works is simple. It's supply and demand. Let's say copper. Copper is used in pipes, wires, roofing, and a whole bunch of other products. So to explain supply and demand, let's say a year is used 1,000,000 metric tons of copper, and it's available in the market 1,000,000 metric tons of copper. Now let's say 1 metric ton costs $1,200. Now what if one year there's a 10% increase in demand of use of copper, but the availability is the exact same amount that it was a year before? What happens? The price goes up a lot because the supply is shorter than the demand. Now let's say a year later the demand drops by 20%, but the supply is exactly the same. What happens? The price drops a lot. And every commodity works in the same way. It's all supply and demand. It's pretty simple. So now I explained to you how commodities grow and decline. Now let's explain real estate. How does that grow and decline? Real estate has a few factors that makes it go up and down. I'm not going to go into all the details. Just to understand in a few words how basically it works, it also works basically with supply and demand. Just has a few factors that makes the supply and demand work a little different than commodities. Now let's say there's a town, but not many people live there. You want to buy a house, you're going to pay cheap. Why? Because there's not a big demand and the supply is there. Now let's say more people moved into that town, but not a significant number. The price will go up because the demand is higher. Now let's say that whole town changed completely and now it's a huge thriving place that almost became a city. The houses will go up a lot. Why? Because now the demand is way higher than the supply. Because now it could be there's not even a single empty property. The demand is high. Now let's say the crime goes up a lot in that town, or there's a huge economical decline in that town, and a lot of people are moving away. What happens? The real estate falls. And the same thing can apply in a neighborhood in a populated city. Sometimes you have a neighborhood which is not so populated, and houses are very cheap. And then what if a lot of people start moving there? The prices shoot up. Now what happens if the neighborhood declines again? The prices falls. So it's pretty similar to commodities, which it goes by supply and demand. So now to understand these factors in short, there are three types of market: production, commodities, and real estate, which gives a reason why it goes up and down. And I hope I explained it good. Now begs the question, in which type of market does crypto fit in? It doesn't produce anything, it's not a commodity, and it's not real estate. To bring out the question better, the Bitcoin doesn't produce anything. Bitcoin started it in 2009, and now it's 2026, which is 17 years later. When Bitcoin started it, as far as I know, you were able to get 1,200 Bitcoins, if not more, for $1. And by 2026, at some point, Bitcoin was already over $100,000, and I'm not sure the exact price what is today, but it's way over $60,000. Now, if someone would have invested in 2009 in a tiny company which was worth almost nothing, and now the company is worth billions, that means that the company produced and it's growing, and that person is a partner in the company, therefore there's a reason why the person made a lot of money. But what did Bitcoin produce? Absolutely nothing. Now let's bring out the commodity question. Crypto is not a commodity. Number one, crypto is not a physical object. It's just computer algorithms. And then another factor that in general, commodities has multiple uses for it. It's not just one thing. You can make a lot of things with copper. You can make a lot of things with steel. You can make a lot of things with aluminum. But what can you do with Bitcoin other to buy and sell? In other words, you cannot do anything with cryptocurrency other than buying and selling. And you can only buy and sell as long as people are interested in it. Now, if nobody is interested, then it's nothing. Now, to explain why it's not real estate, because real estate is a place where you live or farm or store. Now, in today's days, there are real estate which is online, like cloud service, where people can store a lot of data and they pay for companies to keep the storage. Now, if you buy crypto, do you get now a storage place, a cloud storage, or any other type of real estate that to say, okay, you can use it for something? No. So it's not real estate. So if it's not real estate, it's not a commodity, and it doesn't produce anything, what makes it grow? What is the reason for growing? The answer is stupidity and scam. Now, I'm not talking about the legal factors because I don't know the legal factors, and this is not the subject there, but it's absolutely irrational, and everybody that believes in investing in crypto believes in something that is absolutely irrational. Everyone that invests in crypto does it mainly for one reason, that they believe there will be someone willing to pay more money than they paid for it, whether short term or long term. Now, when the person buys it off from that person, he believes the same exact thing, that someone will be willing to pay more money than I paid for it. And everyone buys it just because other people buy it, and the whole cycle goes around like a merry-go-round. Everybody wants it just because everybody wants it, but there's nothing to it. This defines stupidity and completely irrational. To explain it better, they marketed it, they branded it, they gave it a brand name, they made it look so good, so appealing, so convincing, so it looks so good, but it's nothing more than algorithms. Now, due to the fact that big investors and financial institutions joined in, and people actually added it to their pension plan when it's pure thin air, the fact that so many people, even smart people, can be sold for something that is absolutely nothing and has no future, that shows how not intelligent the human species has become. Now hold on, I know you might answer me that the reason why people invest in crypto is because they want to have an alternative currency that is decentralized. So yes, let's break it down. Number one, have you ever heard of gold and silver, which was a worldwide currency throughout human history? Since known that humans use currency, they use gold and silver. And it's not centralized, and it's actually a commodity, which has multiple functions to it. Meaning, let's say you buy gold, and tomorrow gold crashes. There's so many other things you could do with gold. You can make jewelry, you can make dishes. There are so many things you can do with gold besides just being a coin. That means it has other functionalities. Second question, why does crypto grow? What makes it grow? Since when doesn't currency grow? A currency is meant to buy and sell. So it's supposed to be an exchange, but people use them to invest for the future. So to explain it better, if it's an investment, why is it called currency? And if it's a currency, why does it grow? Since when is a currency meant to grow? That means the whole concept of crypto contradicts itself. Now some people will say the reason why Bitcoin is growing because it cannot be inflated. So first question is, why does it even exist such a thing as cryptos which could get inflated? It contradicts itself within itself. Now, even about Bitcoin, that Bitcoin cannot be inflated, meaning that Bitcoin could only have 21 million coins, that what could go on the chain, and it cannot go more. To explain it better, Bitcoin cannot be inflated. There's only 21 million blocks, which each block is called a coin, that could go on to this chain. Or at least that's what we believe in. So you're right. The Bitcoin chain can only go 21 million, but the whole chain can be replicated. And when something is already in existence, it's easier to make copies. And it was already replicated. That means you can make so many chains of 21 million that you can make more chains than human beings existing on the planet Earth. So when you say cannot be inflated, the chain itself cannot be inflated. But if you can just replicate it, then this is considered inflation. So that means it could be inflated. And it shows what a joke and nothing it is. So how can something like this have any value? Now I know a lot of people who ask, what if tomorrow we'll find a whole bunch of gold and gold will crash? So let me explain to you, throughout human history, there's been in every generation thousands of people, if not millions of people, who have been searching for gold. And so far, nobody has found a huge quantity of gold to make gold crash for good. Yeah, it goes a little up and down, but nobody has found this amount of gold that should go crashing. That means statistically it's impossible that somebody will mysteriously find so much gold that gold will go crashing for good and it will be equal valuable like steel. That means statistically gold will always have a significant value. Plus, gold has a value for itself. You can make electricity out of gold, you can make computer components, and a whole bunch of other things. Plus, I wouldn't mind having a nice, beautiful golden frame in my house, which right now only the rich people can afford. So even if gold crashes, I'll still be buying gold and a whole bunch of other people to make beautiful things or electronics from it. So gold is a valuable thing, and the factor that it's scarce, that's what makes it more expensive. There's been in the past a lot of bubbles, even on physical objects. There was a bubble of the tulip, I don't know if you know the history, and then even in the 60s was the silver bubble, and it all ended up crashing. So it's pretty obvious that crypto will go crashing. It's nothing more than a bubble. Now I'd like to give an example to demonstrate a similar thing, which can sum up what actually Bitcoin and crypto is. Let's say someone has a chain of a certain size of length, and let's say on that chain goes on beats. Only a certain amount of beats can fit onto this chain because it's a certain amount of length. Now let's say the number is 1200, and it's impossible to put more than 1200 because it doesn't fit. So what if someone tells people that the fact that you can only put on 1200 beats onto this chain, that means it's scarce, so everything is so valuable and it's worth to invest in these beats. Not only that, if you invest in these beats, the value will keep on growing. Would it make any sense? The answer is no. But it only fits in 1200 onto this chain. That means it's scarce. It will still not change the factor that this is nothing more than cheap jewelry and arts and crafts, cheaper by the dozen. So it has no significant value. Now what if somebody takes these beats and markets it professionally, and he convinces people that there's something unique to these beats. It's something out of this world worth investing. There's something so special that it only fits in 1200 onto this chain. That means it's very scarce and it's extremely valuable. Imagine someone makes it exciting by telling people, imagine the confidence knowing that the future is paid for. It's rare to find an opportunity where the potential for growth is so perfectly aligned with calculated risk. And then you get thousands of people believing that there's something to these beats. And then those people will be willing to invest a lot of money in it. And then the word gets out there, and then more people will be drawn to it. And then more people will be drawn to it, and the price will just keep on going up and up and up and up. And it will go on and on and on and on for a long time. Does it change the fact that this is nothing more than fake jewelry and arts and crafts, and it's cheaper by the dozen? The fact of the matter is, no matter how much people will chase it, and how much people will be willing to pay for it, this is nothing more than cheap jewelry. And if people chase after it, and they're willing to pay a lot of money for it, they will look like a whole bunch of dummies chasing after their own shadow. And the trend can go on for a long time, but then at some point it will collapse. Why? Because stupidity doesn't have stability, therefore it can only last for a certain amount of time. Now I can explain what Bitcoin and other cryptos is. People have created algorithms. They've created chains of algorithms, and they named it Bitcoin and other names. And they convinced people that there's something to it, and people started investing in it. And then more people started investing in it, so it started going up in price. And then people saw, oh look, it looks good. So more people came in to the game, and more people came in, and more people came in. And it became like this whole big thing. But when it's all said and done, it's nothing more than algorithms. And people who are investing in crypto look exactly like people who will invest in these beats, which they look like a bunch of people who are chasing their own shadow, which is completely stupid and irrational, and this is a scam. But you might ask me, the fact is that I see so many people invested in crypto and they made a lot of money, why not hop along? The answer is because it doesn't have a future. Why? Because stupidity doesn't have stability. One change of events, one change in belief, and the whole thing goes bye-bye. To explain it, when stupid people do something irrational, it might look very good, but it cannot have a future because all you need is one change of events, one change of a belief, and the whole thing goes bye-bye. So till now Bitcoin grew, and it might grow further for a while, but it doesn't have a future because at some point people will stop believing in it, or any other thing will happen that will drive away people from it, and the whole thing will just go bye-bye. Why? Because stupidity doesn't have stability. Bitcoin and crypto is a stupid concept, therefore it does not have any stability, and at some point it will go bye-bye. The two biggest questions I have in crypto is one, what makes it grow? If the whole idea of crypto is to have a decentralized currency, then it should have been something stable that is meant to buy and sell. What makes it grow? And the second question is, what makes it valuable if everybody can create their own crypto? The answer is stupidity and completely irrational. And the fact that big investors, financial institutions, and so many people are investing in something that is absolutely nothing, and people actually added it to their pension plan. People are investing in the future in something that has absolutely no future. That made me question. Did people start chasing their own shadow? Because I don't know how to make any sense of it. Now I have a proposal. I asked myself, what if I'm wrong? What if I am the one that is actually dumb, and I'm just not smart enough to understand how crypto works? Maybe I'm so dumb I don't understand how smart and sophisticated with this cutting-edge technology that we live in, and the cutting-edge technology of crypto. When it's all said and done, a lot of people made money from crypto. Why not hop along? So I did some thinking and thought to myself, how can I make a lot of money from crypto? So I analyzed crypto, and I realized that Bitcoin is the strongest crypto from all other cryptos. It's the king. So I tried to figure out why. What makes Bitcoin so special? What distinguishes Bitcoin from other cryptos? Why is it so strong? And I came up with a theory about 3 factors. So to sum up, all cryptos have one common thing, as far as I know. They all work on blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is the most secure internet, as far as I know, and I think all cryptos work on blockchain. Now there's a second thing that only very few cryptos have, which makes them unique, is that those cryptos cannot be inflated, which Bitcoin is one of them. Now there's a third thing, which that thing only Bitcoin has, and that is called community. As I said, community. What I mean about community, that there's a whole bunch of people who made Bitcoin part of their lives. It became like a religion or a second religion to them. They won't let go of Bitcoin. They're like sworn to Bitcoin. Have you ever heard of the term HODL, which stands for hold on with our dear lives? This is something from Bitcoiners. The strong bond that people made with Bitcoin, and in great numbers, is something that no other crypto has. And that is why Bitcoin is the king. Because when you have a large group of people believing in something, that thing becomes very strong. It becomes super. So I asked myself, maybe I should hop along and invest in Bitcoin. If it's so strong, it might be a good investment. So I thought to myself, how much will Bitcoin grow over the next 10 years? Let's say in 10 years from now, it will be worth $1 million, which I highly doubt it will go so far. But let's say. That means if I buy now Bitcoin, in 10 years from now, I will get around 10 to 15 times the amount I invested in, which is very nice. But I wanted to make more. So I asked myself, what if I can do the same thing? What if I can create a crypto that has these 3 principles? 1, it should work on blockchain technology, which is very secure. Number 2, it should be a crypto that cannot be inflated, which makes it strong. And number 3, create a community. And by community, I mean all kinds of people from all race, religion, ethnicity. The more diversified, the stronger it will be. And we need at least 100,000 people. And by we, I mean me and you. You are watching this video. Every human being who wants to join is welcomed from all over the world. We have potential to possibly turn a little money into millions. And I got a name for the coin. I call it CISGO, which stands for Sea, Earth, Air, Space, Galaxy, and Universe. Now, if needed, we could change the name. And what made me come up with this name is that we could start from very little, and we can reach beyond the universe. I have a vision. That vision can reach far beyond the vision can reach. And that is with the Cisco coin. I can see myself reaching the stars. What I see here, what my vision is, that we can create something so powerful, so sweet, and we have potential to make millions, if not billions. Because I don't see any reason why Bitcoiners deserve anything more than we do. What makes them so special that they can make money off worthless algorithms, and we shouldn't be allowed to do the same? Everything we will do will be fully legal according to US law. So why not? Let's not be like the old school fanatic like I sounded in the beginning of the video, which I sounded old school and fanatic, who actually thinks that you have to work for money. This is old school. This is fanaticism. We're living in a time of cutting edge technology. We understand that irrational is rational and rational is irrational, where logic is illogical and illogical is logical. We understand that something that nobody understands and nobody knows how it works can work, but the old school fanatic don't understand this. This is a new age. We're living in cutting edge technology. We have figured out that just by sitting and printing worthless algorithms, and you can create an incentive that everybody wants this worthless algorithms, and then turn it into a lot of money. And it's legal because people are doing it and people are chasing it. So let's create something that everybody can create. Let's create the Cisco coin, and we'll be so successful that this could become the worldwide currency. Don't fool yourself. Don't have a lack of confidence. Don't believe what people are trying to tell you that you can't. Just the opposite. Have some confidence. If they can make it, so can you. All you need is an algorithm with good marketing. This is probably the future where the worthless is valuable and the valuable is worthless. Now, I don't know how that is possible, but the same way that nobody knows how crypto and Bitcoin is worth anything, and people are actually investing in it for the future. Now, I don't want people to get overexcited and start investing a lot. If you want to join in, try to invest only the money that you're not going to cry if you lose it, because everything is a risk. And the main thing is to remember is that you have to be willing to become huddle, hold on with other lives, and maybe even pledge allegiance to the Cisco coin. If we can create a huge community, we can become way stronger and way richer than Bitcoin. The Cisco coin can become so strong and so valuable that it will make look Bitcoin like pocket change. Be strong and have self-confidence. Bitcoin is huddle. They say they're holding on with their lives. Now, I don't know who's trying to take it away from them, and I'm not sure what they're holding on, and I think that they don't even know what they're holding on. But they're holding on to their own shadow with their lives. In the same way we can be completely irrational and fully confident by pledging allegiance to the Cisco coin and holding on with their lives and possibly get a huge return. So let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll see how it goes. And make sure to always check the description because I might have some updates.